All right, let's do some fun stuff. Let's get the animations going. One of these days. Okay, so if the team is equal to both team, it would be both teams, but if it's both team, we're going to do something. We're going to get our end text. We're going to set that text to draw, because it's a draw. Both teams won. It's a draw. It's rare, but it happens. Let's make that a variable. Call it draw text. That way you don't have to get into the, this is an important thing, especially with UI. You're going to be dealing with you're going to be dealing with a lot of people who aren't necessarily technically proficient. They might be really great at designing this stuff in like Photoshop, and that's a lot of times what will happen. They'll give something from Photoshop, they'll give it to a technical person to say, okay, now implement this thing that I made in Photoshop. Well, sometimes that same guy has access to the code, and so he might go, you know what, I like everything, but I don't like your wording of stuff, and that's very common too, where the designer type, his mind is going to be more of the, that creative type, maybe not so technical, but he can come up with great names and stuff. So if you name it a variable, you could just tell him it's called draw text, it's called win text, and then he can just come in here and change it. It's a lot better. You got to think about other people when you're making your stuff, if you're working in a team like that, so that way they can easily come in and change stuff. And I just totally messed up what I was trying to do here. That's what I was intending to do. There we go. Now let's handle when the teams aren't equal. Get your player state, validate it, get the team. Okay, so if both teams are not equal, we get our team. If it's equal to our team, we're going to be a winner, and if it's not, we're going to be a loser. So let's get a select node here. Make sure I populated that. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Let's just select it. Can I find it in here? Let's duplicate. Let's say win text. Make sure we change that. Duplicate. Lose text. Just straight up call the guy a loser. There we go. Or gal. You never know. Okay, if they're equal, yep, it's going to be your team. You're going to be the winner. Or you're going to be the loser. And in text, that's right. Be the same thing. Could have just set it as a local variable, but whatever. Oh, man. All of it. There we go. Okay, it's true. Win. Lose. Now what? We have that animation that we made. There it is. It automatically makes its own variable. Oh, we didn't have to make that. It's whatever you named the animation. Now we're going to play our animation. Yeah, I think that's all there is to it, really. If you don't like that being in your way, you can do this. All right. I think that was relatively painless. Play an animation. And then finally, we got to reset our widget. Let's get all the stuff we used. Got our end text. We got next game horizontal box. See what else? Your team progress. Your team text. Your team progress. Their score text. Their team progress. Okay. End game and next game text. That's our end game stuff that pops up. When we reset, we want to set the render opacity. There we go. You can plug in more than one in here, save you some room. Set percent, we'll set it back to 0. And then set text to 0. All right, that looks good. Let's save everything we have.